What's up? Sorry for the grainy contrast. We're using the webcam, and it is what it is. It's not going to get any better. Um, oh, you must just got through watching my Suge Knight video. Whenever I see you post how high, I said, well, Nicholas was watching that video. You working, bro. Always working. Always working. I had a conversation earlier with some people that was linked with Suge Knight. It was pretty interesting. But people talk about making money. Most people make their money early in the morning rather than being late. Like if you invest in stocks, most people do what they call pre-market trading. And what pre-market trading is, they go on like it's mostly three major values. It's always three. It's always more, but it's like three major protocols that they do. But mostly early morning people are pre-market strategy people, and they react to like news that's like recent, and then they start reacting right away. That's when you normally see early morning stock trading. It was like mostly recent news. Like if a certain event happened in the stock market, this news could be relevant to us, industry or business. We got to get in there. The entire economy is going to fall. That's notably pre-market activity usually manifests in like when the price is a big price change. Um, that's it. Or let's say the normal range for volume is here, and it's like boom, really high, and you got to be able to gauge the pre-market trade. So the three things is, when you're experiencing big declines and stuff like that, that's another way to market it. Positive was it price gaps and security. You want to make security one of your major concerns, when you're at security activities for your trades. Why do you think I'm woke? Man, you, the red man. Campfire store. Good morning, new sub. What's up? Is that your real name? Jonay Sinks? Beaumont, Texas in the house. Ooh, I know they get you some good jokes with that last name Sinks. You probably been hearing it all since grammar school. She's sinking. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, not really. Oh, the Steve Harvey video. Pusher T. Who is that? And that's how I am now. See how people say stuff and they come into reality? I'm like, yeah, who is Pusha T? Who is he? Who? Pusher T. A Pusher T. Oh man. Tony two times. What's up? Now, here's the situation. Stock market trading is not the only way to make money early, but it's still one of the best ways to make it. Your declining stocks, your gainers, and then you got your most active stocks. Now, me, I have people who do my trading for me. I'm not going to be in here. I'll be all day. You'll probably see one video of me every 2 days if I was in the stock market. Talk about what the 16, 17-year-old kid. What about her? So I want to know for all the rest of you guys. What sold 60K? A record, or I don't get it. Did she put a song out or something? I wouldn't know. Where should you invest? I can't tell you that. So I wanted to bring the question to you guys. Which way is the best way to make money for you guys? Do you make your money early, or do you make your money late? Other buddy said it don't matter how you make it, as long as you get it. True. I'm just saying. Most people in the world make their money early because the 67% of the United States of America work in the morning times. This is statistic. 67% of the people in the world work in the mornings. You said I'm watching The Flash. That's the United States of America, not the world, just the United States of America. And what they consider morning is anything from 6 a.m. into 4 or 5 p.m. They consider all that early morning time or whatever. I mean, from 6 a.m. to I think it was 3. I forgot the cutoff time, but it's like 3 around that time. But either right, 2 p.m. Okay, right. So 2 p.m. 6 a.m. to like 2 p.m. they consider that time. Morning, and then you have like they broken into like shifts almost. So that means at nighttime, 67% of the people are asleep. So around 10 o'clock, 10:30 p.m. at night, 67% of the United States of America are asleep. And what this job does is keep people on a schedule. When people wake up, and you notice it during traffic, people are mostly robots. They get up in the morning, they get themselves prepared, they talk to the wife, If they got kids, they get the kids, say goodbye, or mom would get the kids. Whoever leaves the house last normally deals with the kids. They get out the door, they go to work, they come home or they get off work, they make a couple of stops, they come home, see the wife and kids, go to the store, come back, watch their favorite television program, have dinner, go to bed. And it's the same format over and over each day. And you're systematically programmed by the job that you do. You be, oh, I'm glad I had an off day. How many of you guys work, get an off day, and don't do nothing on the off day? You get an off day and you basically in the house doing nothing. Well, a lot of people believe that you need to have a degree to make money. In today's world, a college degree does equal a lot of a higher pay. But if you know a trade, see, I'll tell you this whole system about money in a minute. Hold on. Let me get some tissue. Sorry about that. Somebody was hitting me up and I had to get some tissue. But like I was saying, trades. Ain't enough light in the daytime. Yeah. To get a lot of high paying jobs nowadays, they would prefer some type of college, some type of diploma. Like if you want to crack 40,000 in income, your degrees are you buy those. It's no longer I need to go to school and get a degree. You buy a degree. You're paying 30,000, 40,000 for a degree. And then you see all these people trying to pay back all these large student loans before they even get in the workplace. You think going to a community college, getting a degree is suffice? Is going to a university spending 40, 50,000? They say, well, how am I supposed to get a big thing when I can't even afford like many of the incomes. I'm over 30 years old and I recently cracked the $40,000 income. People be telling me all the time they're having problems out there, and they have a degree. Yeah, see, look at that. He just paid $5,595 for a CDL 11 years ago. Tell you, that's how they do it. Now, here's the thing, and this is what they've eliminated. Back in the 80s, 70s, there was things called trade schools. If you earned a trade, good old-fashioned manual labor, these works will always need to be done. The more we evolve into the tech world, the more dumbed down the individual becomes. These guys all want to be techs. But remember, back in the 70s, anybody who was born in the 70s or had parents from the 60s who were born in the 60s and 70s and 80s and all those, well, not the 80s really, but anybody from the older days, your grandfathers, they didn't just work at their job. They were the electrician, they were the plumber, they knew how to fix a car, they knew how to do everything because it was taught to them for survival. They had to survive to do all that stuff because they knew trades. Trades would keep them alive. And see, people of color, mostly blacks, are not taught trades anymore. Growing up, we knew all these trades. It was passed down from father to son. When we went to school, and they taught it there, and there was a thing called trade schools. The government shut down trade schools. Way to go, Trayshawn. He's like, I'm at work right now. Well, don't get fired because of me. See, if you have a skill like, let's say, a carpenter. Carpenter has, that's a lot of people's favorites. But if you look at a carpenter, what does carpenters normally do? They have work. Most carpenters get work. You can take 1 year, 2 years at a community college, and you can earn $50 an hour building things. Simple stuff to fences, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Kitchens and bathrooms normally pay much better, but there's no formal training required, but it helps work alongside another good carpenter who knows what he's doing for about a year or two, or maybe even more. And you can take some classes to get your certification. It's really cheap, but the knowledge you gain is for a lifetime because you can always make money in the right area or situation. And there's not a lot of us into the carpentry work. Plumbers, people laugh at the plumber, right? Do you know that the majority of plumbers, a lot of them, more traditional and formal, when you get a 2 year apprentice, you could get your first level license. And all that means is that you get paid $20 to $30 per hour while you're learning. That's all it means. Imagine getting paid $20 to $30 an hour just to learn. Not bad. Not bad, huh? You're getting paid $20 to $30 an hour just to learn something. Well, it depends on where you are, Ring Star. Call costs are $10 to $12,000. He said now, but it depends on where you are because okay, Jonay, I see you. It depends on where you are. Somebody doing the same job as you in another area, they're getting double that, sometimes triple. Let's say you own your own plumbing business. You can charge $80 an hour. You can hire your own apprentice to work for you, or you can just work yourself. Once you incorporate yourself, it costs you no money. You have your first level license, and you're already moving. Three, you could be a welder. Now you can learn. A lot of people learn like metal work in school. Me, I learned on the job welding, and I didn't like welding at all. It is very like strategic. I had to sit there working this machine. That's all I was doing is putting the little crevices in the thing that like links in a screw that goes in something. And all I had to do for like hours is put this little thing in. This saw goes, and I just gotta make the little crevice there. I did that, man. It's so tedious. It is crazy. It is crazy. I had to sit there for hours doing that. Then they put me to deburring. And deburring means like you got this machine where it just like edges hits the edge, and I'm just like all the money in the world. I walked away from it. I'm like, I can't do this. I wasn't meant for that. It was a good job too. It was a very good job. Well, welders, they get about people always gonna need look, rich people, people with money, or people who make over six figures a year. They're gonna always need custom steel work done on their houses. Not many people know how to do that type of work. And you can make about, let me see, about $60, 50, $60 an hour. Some have made up to $70, $80 an hour, depending on who you are, what you could do. You can make money doing grinding stuff. Now the next one is electrician. We all know about electrician. A lot of people try to do it they self electrician. Hey, no problem, Mike. I appreciate that. Now the electricians, they quizzed a bunch of people about electricity work, and they don't know anything. A lot of them don't. They want to be electricians, and everybody tries to fix things in the house, which is good for you if you're an electrician because they're gonna screw it up, and then you could bill them basically through the nose. because they just know it don't work after they tried to fix it. And an electrician always know when somebody tried to do something. It was like, did you try to fix this? Yeah, yeah, I did a little something there, but I did a little work. It might have worked. Nah, it didn't. You made it worse. Now I'm finna cut you. Electricians get you with that all the time. Never tell electrician you did anything. They be like, "Did you do something here?" Nah, I just called you. Never says you tried to do it yourself. That is just giving him the green light to screw you over. He's like, normally this would have been just a normal job, but since you tried to fix it yourself, now I'm finna bleed you. And you forced to pay. You need electricity. And all it takes is really cheap. Okay? It's really cheap. 2 years apprenticeship. If you went to community college, you could basically write the test and get your first level license, but you could make $65 an hour or up to 80 if you're licensed yourself. $80 an hour for some electrician, man. You could make like $400 a day if you've taken a lot of calls, depending on what you're doing. A lot of people think electrician work is slow. It's not. It's a lot of people with power. You know how much people power going out and all kind of stuff going, man. People got all this technology everywhere. Mm-mm. Be in the right areas, you will get a lot of money. Oh, it don't stop there. Painters. How many of you guys love to paint? Right? Never thought about getting money. I got a friend can paint, make paintings, do all kind of stuff, paint people's houses, paint his mom's house. He loves mixing paint. Me, I don't want to touch none of this stuff. I ain't made for none of this stuff. I was made to be a boss and delegate. That's my job. Nobody does their own painting these days. And they go searching for painting companies to handle it now. Back in your grandfather's days, your grandfather used to paint himself. He ain't hiring no painters. Nobody's coming in the house. He know what he doing. He going right to Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever, Menards. He getting some paints or whatever, and he gonna come back and paint it. He ain't finna put nothing to shred the old paint. He ain't even doing that. He painting over the paint that's already on the wall, which he's done like 16 times before. He gonna use some old duct tape and cover the edges. And next thing you know, he going to work. And if a little bit of that paint get on the wood panel, he ain't getting no thinner to get it off. He don't give a damn. So see, most painting companies are disorganized and they run into rude owners all the time. So painters are very hard business. So you have to get basically established first. But anyone can pay you from 25 to $40 an hour, depending on how wisely you bid your work. And if you're a boss, then you can have your employees working for you for $10 to $15 an hour. You know, that'll help you speed up your process of your jobs. But you have to be very good at painting, you know, or, because people are very meticulous when it comes to that. Because, they got to see it every day. And if you get a super rich, you know, person who's very stuck up and I wanted the till. I wanted it to pop. Can you just replace all that? I'll be, yep, for the right price. Next is a towel settler. You if you paint, you might want to work with a towel, settler too, because the same skills make you good at both. Some people who paint also do tile. Okay, tile settlers, they pay a lot more because they create fine bathrooms. People love to see bathrooms. They love to get their bathroom redid, put tile down, or in a walk-through area. So always look for a tile settler. Or most of them guys can paint and they do tile. Like landscaping businesses, most of that is like ran by the mob. Do you want to know what a mob at? Try to get you a landscaping business if you're black. You're gonna meet the mob real fast. You seen Soprano? You seen Sopranos? What they was doing? They mob all had landscapers that worked for them. Some landscaper in the wrong area he ain't supposed to be. They beat him up. Then extort him. You're out. It's Tony's territory now. That's how the landscaping business is for real. The mob is own. They own that because they know nobody cuts their grass no more. Mostly Hispanics run the landscaping company and the Italians. They run this landscaping thing all the way around the board. And anybody gets out of line, they paying for protection. Now, this landscaping is more than cutting grass. Okay, if you got a good landscaper, they got to know about plants, principle, the heat tolerance. Knowing about your areas, how to garden, because nobody does gardening anymore. Remember, your grandma used to have a little garden in her backyard. Used to grow on tomatoes, on fruits. People don't do that no. Mm-hmm. Love your new career, by the way. What's that? Yeah, we talking about trades right now. Driving is not really a trade. It should be, but we'll get to the driving thing. We're basically going down the top 10 trades out there where you can earn a lot of money without really having to go to school to spend $40, $50 on a college degree. And you can make a lot of money per year. See, an excavator, that big power machine, you can make $400 a day pushing that thing. $400 a day. That's a big machine. That's do dig foundation work, and that's under contract for like local custom house or city governments. but you'll yield about $1,000 to $2,000 per day. If you like big machines, that is it. Yakob. 1,000 to 2,000 a day, boy. It is very profitable. You have to be pretty good at math. If you get a digger, a bobcat, a trailer, a dump truck, and you love those machines, that's about $200,000 worth of machinery. And you can make a huge return on investment because you can make like what 100,000 per year or more otherwise. Plus, you're a hero to the guys all over town because you're getting them work. Now, here's another trade you can make money at: house builders. Although this profession don't normally agree with a lot of things people do, house builders get about 15 to 20% of the construction cost, which like that's like a take of 6 month project or something like that. You're looking at about $100,000. So you can supervise other trading companies and things like that. Y'all guys are going crazy arguing with each other. Then of course, you can work full time. You can enjoy supervising other things like that. That's not one I would be interested in. Is house building right now. The way the market is up and down. 10 is mechanic. You know how to fix a car. You can make $50 per hour. It's more harder nowadays because people don't have the money to pay you right away, and you're waiting on money to come in. So you got to get money up front and try to get a garage, and most of them can't afford to pay the rent of the garage right away. So mechanic is everybody wants to be a mechanic, and everyone thinks they're a mechanic. So they go to a shade tree mechanic when you get them a valuation, and then things get worse, and there you are. Well, let's look at another trade, writing. That's a thankless, underpaid job. You look at what Amazon is doing; they're paying for writers. Even DJ Vlad is looking for people to work for him. They're always looking for writers, and people are using the internet now. Techno musicals composers. They're out here trying to create their own music for like videos. And one of the biggest trades in the world. Hey, thanks for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Street competition. Well, there you go. And here's another one: YouTube channel owner. With broadcast TV being the way it is, millions of people are watching the internet. Millions. So people dominating fame. YouTube is not just for freaky stuff and things that's going viral. People are making money. A lot of it hard work. Teenagers can create hundreds of well-made Minecraft videos and all that other goofy stuff. But it's definitely out there. People are getting rich making videos about get rich schemes. or just a blogger. You got people doing blogging work, WordPress developer. You work WordPress. I need someone to work WordPress. Maybe can you work the press? I need a WordPresser. When you get in the Cash App in the description, when it's profitable for me to get a Cash App, Sino After Dark. Yeah, rise and grind. Now, who wanted to know about trucking? Who was that asking me about trucking? Yeah, on the One Crack News channel, the super chat button is working, so you can just hit that if you wanted to. Well, the trucking industry is not what it used to be anymore. That's one of the reasons I didn't tell you. One of the problems is cash flow. Cash flow problem is it's crazy. Trucking fleets, they're going like what, almost 80 days to get paid by the brokers and shippers and all that stuff. So the cycle is off. So you trying to get all these things in account and receivings and all that stuff. So they're turning fleets into cash less than a day. So they're building up their work capital and driving like you're like trying to keep all the drivers. That's another problem. You got a shortages of drivers in areas. The turnover rates are very high. Oh, I'm gonna tell you why. Oh, I'm gonna tell you why. Don't worry about that, Kenny. You see, the time it takes to recruit and retain drivers, many fleets have built and boosted their salaries to improve the benefits and offer some performance bonuses to try to keep people around because most of them can't hack it. And then you got truck drivers' health. See, these things are dangerous too. People obese, they have diabetes because they sitting all the time. The health insurance, they have poor eating habits, sleep apnea, the other disorders. Uh, they got organizations like what was that? The Rolling Strong, Truck Lifters, Characters, TCA, and all these fleets have launched programs to try to get the drivers in better fitness because you don't want drivers falling asleep on the road, causing accidents, and fatalities is normally what happens in a truck accident. When truckers have accidents, fatality is normally it. They got all this new tech now. They try to help them avoid car accidents. I'm so in need of a Red Bull. Right, so they got all this new tech to try to help truckers avoid car accidents now. They want to reduce these trucking accidents. And here's your biggest problem. The biggest problem when you're a trucker, your infrastructure. See, without more public funding for roads and bridges and everything else, there will be more accidents, more delays, more or less profit for the trucking company in the future. You got to understand that. Haven't you seen all the construction going on? The highway infrastructure is destroying the trucking business because it's delaying deliveries. And don't forget, regulations are killing you and fuel. These are the keys to make you look. I would not get into trucking. I told my buddy he got a CDL and everything else. I'm like, dude, as long as you local driving, if you start doing long distance driving, you're in trouble. From hours to hours to e-log devices, the emissions requirements, government rules, almost everything about operating a truck. Most of the rules are designed to make the trucking safer, but it's so much red tape and it's expensive for the fleet companies or the drivers. All these regulations they got. Then you're looking at your diesel prices, your current fuel, the increase in the fuel, the efficiency, priorities, and all that stuff. And your fuel card programs are like one solution, providing they give you a discount on diesel or something like that. But many other services for other trucking companies. But some people don't even get that. But you got to try to get you a fuel card program somewhere. That's the only thing that could really protect you in those situations. My homie did with his COL. I mean, he's driving, he's making it work, but he's facing all the problems that I just told you about. Every single one. Well, it's less headaches. Almost 90% of all truckers are in bad marriages, bad family. Dad's never at home. Mom's at home going wow, buck wow. Dad's hitting every chick on the road. It's bad, bad, bad. But it's like part of the business. The truckers got all the money. They on the road. They send the money home, pay the bills. Like kids in school, wife and all that. Cool. When I come home, she my wife. When I leave out, I don't care what she doing. That's how the trucker mentality is. Trucker mentality is, hey, I'm at this trucker lounge, whatever chick's in here. I give her a road to Atlanta. She drive there. She can get the next ride there. It's crazy. Truckers are nuts. Yeah, I believe that too. But let me get ready to get out of here and watch this game. He said we down one zip already. Oh man.